Hello, dear friends, and welcome to Peace Revolution page. We are very happy to have you here with us today. As you can see, we are having two very beautiful guests today who are going to speak about the healing power of Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung. And who they are Vincent Sanders and Sabine Feron. Hello, Vincent, and hello, Sabine.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
It's very great to have you here with us today. And just a small reminder to our viewers, this is actually the second time that Vincent is with us here. The first time we had a lovely talk with Vincent and Helen, who were talking about Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung and how it can help people, both elderly people as well as all other people. Today, however, we are going to be focusing more on the healing power of Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung, and Vincent and Sabine, who are Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung instructors, they are going to reveal us some stories of how Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung has helped people heal themselves. So we are very excited to start. Moreover, this is also to tell you that by the end of the show, our dear Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung experts and instructors have prepared a little surprise for all of you. So stay tuned till the end. And it's a very warm welcome to all of you joining us. I see some people are already joining us. Right now, feel free to stay with us and also let us know where you are joining from. We are having viewers from all over the world, so we are very happy to bring all of you here, guys, and be active, ask questions, and give your comments. We are very happy to interact with you. Okay, so Vincent and Sabine, again, very lovely to have you. And I think we are ready to start. So perhaps let's start with explaining a little bit more what is Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung. Perhaps someone is hearing it for the very first time. So what is it all about?
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing question. Well, Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung is lots about finding lightness in your life, in everyday life. So it doesn't matter where you are. If you are working in an office, or maybe you're working as a builder or as a garbage man, you can always find the wow in the now. And so it's about finding balance in your heart, your body, in your mind, and also in your spiritual aspect. So do not see it as different, like, oh, I'm working and I'm thinking about what I'm doing tomorrow, or I'm worrying. So you're doing your best to bring everything together in one. So integration in one, and not being separate. So feeling something else and you're thinking while you're doing something else. So bringing everything into one focus. And then there are, of course, the rainbow colors. So you can do it in so many ways. It's like, the blue is in a peaceful way, like in Peace Revolution. You love peace.
We love blue.
We love,
yes.
yeah. No, but there are so many colors, and each color represents a different quality, and each quality has its different aspects. So there's red for love, and so many different colors. Like Sabine is wearing yellow.
Yeah. Wisdom.
Which is indeed wisdom and humbleness.
And your background is beautiful orange, so you're swimming in our screens in a sea of joy.
Yeah, so vitality, which is a very important aspect. And then, of course, is the violet, which is about healing and forgiveness, which is a very important part. And then there's indigo color, which is about leadership, learning to be a leader. Well, like I had to learn to be a leader in my own life. So I wasn't always very good at that. I was, just not really taking responsibility for things in my life and just making a little bit of a mess sometimes. So I needed a lot of indigo color to get back myself, to be a leader of all these parts of me that wanted to escape from myself. And all these colors have different meanings. So it's a whole study that you can dedicate your whole life to learning. And Master Cho is the founder. So he has spent his whole life to study with 7 different great grandmasters in China, India, Europe, America. He brought together all these 7 aspects because every color represents one of the teachings of these great grandmasters, and they're all integrated in one Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung. How do you call it? System of learning.
Yeah.
So
we're a school, so
yeah.
It's an education, and we call it edutainment. So a lot of fun and creativity and expression is all part of the whole system. And Master Choi has written 2 books that have reached over 200,000 people worldwide. And it's called 15 Ways to a Happier You. It's the first book, and that's also the book that Vincent is teaching, that I'm teaching from. So it says it already. We're stepping into happiness. We're teaching ourselves to go back to our true nature, which is happiness and vitality. And happilize.
Yeah, that's the most important thing is to happilize. Find happiness is learn to happilize. And Master Choi is also the founder of the word happilization, and that's where we're going. To create a happilization on this earth.
Wow, happilization. Wow, I love this word. Our dear viewers, let us know what you think about this word, happilization. How do you connect with this word? That's amazing word. Thank you for sharing. And also we get to know that this is a sort of a lifestyle that everyone can adapt, right? Mastering Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung. Moreover, this also has a healing power, which is something we are going to focus on today. So what is that healing power that we can talk about?
The healing power where we can talk about is the Chi energy. And I don't know if you have ever heard of Chi energy, or if the viewers have ever heard of Chi energy. It's basically the life force.
Yes.
It's basically the life force that's inside us and all around us. But the thing is, you've never been awakened or have never even been taught in school about this life force. And what we do in Rainbow Tai Chi and our Tai Chi practices is we connect back and we awaken ourselves back to the life force, and we learn how to communicate with the life force and build that inside ourselves and grow that, because it's like a currency. At the end of our lives, we will see, hey, who's got most chi will live longest, in most happiness and in most health. So our most important single focus is go back to the chi and connect and communicate with it.
Wow. Yeah. Single focus. Yeah, that sounds really amazing. And well, of course, it's it would be nice if everyone can have this kind of great connection with the chi energy. However, I know that you have, we have examples in our world where people actually need this healing power. They need to heal themselves because their life is not like that. They have come into some problems or some suffering where they are perhaps disconnected from this chi energy. And I know, Sabine, you have experienced a situation with Julia, who had a difficult situation, and you helped to self-heal her. Moreover, you wrote a book about it. So perhaps you could bring it up right now and tell how exactly this healing and Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung helped Julia to heal herself.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah. Thank you very much for bringing it up. Julia is a very, very, very special lady. And indeed, I wrote a book about her 8 days healing journey at our school under the guidance of Master Choi. Hi, Danny Martinez also.
Hi, Danny.
Yeah, so this is the book. And Julia, I met Julia during my first workshop in Amsterdam. And Julia is 29 years, young, super beautiful, once and still very vital lady. And she came to my workshop because she suffers from multiple sclerosis. So that's a disease where your own nervous system attacks itself. So what the case was with Julia is she found out only quite recently in November that she had this, and the whole world fell apart because there's no cure or no healing. That is what the medicine says for multiple sclerosis. But she heard that Tai Chi would be very beneficial for her. So she saw my workshop on Facebook, and she joined and she went there with no expectations. And she was completely moved into tears because she felt for the first time accepted and felt there's hope, because we believe that she can self-heal herself, because our teacher, Master Choi, he has experience in so many different diseases and illnesses that have been proven uncurable to improve the state of living and even self-heal, really. Julia was inspired to continue and to come to a workshop of Master Joy, and she went. That was a healing workshop, and she felt a group of people. There were over 50 people in that workshop, I believe, and with a group of people, she felt like, wow, this is a group of people that believes in me, that believes in the light in me, and that believes in the self-healing power that I've got, that my body has got. We have been taken away from that power, so we reawakened that first of all, the hope inside her, that there is a possibility for her that goes beyond what the medical system says. So what happened with Julia physically, in December, she got a complete relapse. So her left side of her body was completely paralyzed. That meant that she wasn't able to work anymore. Imagine being 29 years old, you see the people all around you partying, starting families, and you basically are literally physically nailed to the ground. But he was inspired. Master Choi offered that you can come 8 days to a healing retreat. That's what we offer. And then you come to the property in the UK, to the school in the UK. It's 4 acres of complete nature. She energized with every step for over 20 years. We brought her there for 8 days. And what happens is, Rainbow Tai Chi is, we look at you 360 degrees, but the most important thing is that we look at you from a heart, body, mind, spirit point of view. So all those different aspects of yourself, Master Choi looks at that, exactly at what is it that you need to rebalance yourself. Then there are 4 factors of success that are needed for a retreat or for self-healing to be successful. The first one is your own humbleness and your own intention, so your humbleness to learn, so you need to be open to learn. The second one is be in the right light environment. Well, the property is the best environment to be. You need to have the right light teacher, which in this case is Master Choi, and a group support. And we all offer that inside the Rainbow Tai-Chi School. When Julia came to us, there was a group of 15 Chi healers and teacher trainees that were on that moment studying at the school, that were all there to support her and to take her through this journey of self-healing. And we then daily, I was personally the one who stuck with Julia, so very one-to-one. So we shared a caravan together, we ate together, we slept together, we did everything together. And Master Choi guided 24/7 where Julia went through. For us as a group, we tune into the inner Julia, because we say, hey, where Julia is going through, there's a part inside herself that also feels the same, so that feels uptight, that feels lonely, unworthy, insecure, because those are the emotional disbalances or rotten bits inside ourselves that are the basis of her disease. The emotional environment inside yourself, your emotional state, is attacking herself. That was the first thing that Master Choi pinpointed, so he went instantly to the root of her disease. Then, on top of that, we got physical practices, so a lot of Unlearning, we got a lot of leg exercises. A whole day was sandwiched in chi-energizing, chi-building exercises to give her back that strength. She couldn't run, and walking was already quite difficult. So she said her greatest wish was to run. And on the third day, she already ran.
Wow,
So
amazing.
yeah, and then it's also Master Choi's wife, Christine Chin. She's a raw food chef, and they both are herbalists. So we include the dietary aspect of healing as well. We grow fresh vegetables from the garden. I plucked this one this morning, a beautiful courgette. And
Here's another one. A little bit
Yeah, a little bit smaller.
grown from seed. Rainbow Tai-Chi-Ch-Kung.
Yeah.
We love to help people to heal with vegetables that are grown from seed and every day energized by the people who are watering them. So like Sabine, you are watering lots of plants every day and energizing them as well. So it's amazing that all the vegetables get much bigger.
Yeah, as you can see. Quite big. Everything is indeed chi energized, and we energize the food and the dietary. There's a whole philosophy behind the dietary system, and it's all integrated. And also herbs. For example, Julia had problems with peeing. That was due to the side effects mainly of her medicine as well. But she had a choice in the beginning of the retreat. We said, we are not against medicine, but the medicine is not supporting your healing. Your medicine is suppressing, it's numbing your system. And we don't want you to be afraid of any side effect that comes up after you stop the medicine. So she made it, but the medicine is blocking our healing at the moment and is blocking the quality of the energy. So she decided really bravely to quit her medicine, and the medicine would never heal her. It would only suppress for the longer run. So she quit the medicine, and we use stingy nettle tea, especially for in Julia's case, really revitalize the system. And she had very much difficulties with peeling. And after, sorry that I speak so much about peeling, and after 2 days, I believe, she said like, oh my gosh, I think the stingy nettle stuff is working. So we also include nature, the help of nature, the local herbs that are around us, like as an integration of helping us to heal. And it's very one-to-one. We always work with one person at a time. It's very direct and highly focused because you're changing someone's complete lifestyle into a healthy lifestyle so that when that person goes home, that person, like Julia now, she's still running every day. She's still doing her exercises every day. She learned from the diet. She's eating, she's energizing her food. She focuses on the pauses. It's slower. She minimizes social activity so that she is more working on energizing and conserving the energy inside her. So that's what we do. We empower the person that comes to the school and empower the person to live a healthy, self-healing, happy life again. And I spoke to Julia last week, and if Julia is watching, hi Julia, she said, I've never felt so good in 30 years. She turned 30 years this year. So, yeah, that's a big applause for everyone.
To Julia, and thank you, Julia, for watching us. It's really lovely to have you with us, and I'll also take opportunity to say thank you to all the other viewers today, Lisbeth, Danny, Ayman. Thank you guys for watching us, and let us know if you have experienced any Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung benefits yourselves. Or how you feel about Julia's story. Thank you, Sabine, for sharing it. It was really insightful, I think. Wow, we already have Robin saying super inspiring. Love the holistic approach and what you shared about heart, body, mind, and spirit. Yes, big applause. Yes, heart, body, mind, and spirit. I think we'll touch this a little bit later more, but right now I have a question about something what you mentioned in the healing that you try to empower the person, right, so that the person goes back and can continue self work with him or herself properly. And this is my question: how to make sure that it happens as a self-healing, that because you are also there supporting, right? And what is then the role of you as a supporter or helper, and how person can be sure that he receives it himself and becomes empowered?
Mhm. Yeah, well, it's a good question. Thank you very much. And the role of us, we are like a support group, or you can call it a peer group, and we are training to carry the energy of unconditional loving acceptance. And from Peace Revolution, you must love peace. So we learn to focus on peace, and we carry like the quality of peace in our hearts. We carry the quality of loving energy, and that's what are just we're just being in those qualities for that person. So say someone comes, like Julia came from Amsterdam, really stressful environment where she has to work and everything is full on all the time. She comes to the school, and what she needs first is to feel peaceful. And the whole school there's this beautiful energy of their trees, there are ponds, there are beautiful birds, there's even a little snake in the pond, which is even peaceful. And this whole environment is there, and we are part of the environment. So we are carrying that unconditional loving acceptance. So say Julia or someone else like who does a healing gets really upset or really emotional, because that's what happens. Lots of things need to come out, so they go through things, and we are just there for them. So Master Choi is there to teach, to share the exercises, to give the deeper he's like a surgeon. He goes into the deeper aspects and make sure that, like, if you have a wound and you have like a big piece of wood somewhere, and a surgeon come and take it out, then it can heal. But if nobody ever takes out that deep thing and it keeps being there for your whole life, you can do whatever you want, but it needs to come out first. And then we are there as a support group to be there, to practice together. And especially the first, it's like a little plant. When you plant a seed, it needs extra care, it needs extra nourishment. You can't just put it out in the storms and the gales and the rain straight away. It needs protected environment to grow. And when it's big enough, it can go into the world by itself. So it's like we are maybe a little bit bigger plants, and we take care of the smaller plant until it's big enough to be transplanted into wherever he or she wants to go.
Wow, that's very beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way you explained it, plants and.
Yeah. So it's really beautiful. So, for example, what we do in the school is you've got salads, and even what we are there 24/7 is even in the night we go out to do slug patrol. So if there are like emotionally, you've got inner slugs, like inner selves, inner voices that try to take you away from that healing energy, because or from your positive energy. So we take out the little slugs. So even in nature, we are taking out the slugs, and that's also our role to sort of like protect. Like, hey, but also we tune in ourselves. Like when she's going through things, we go through the inner Julia or the person, what the person goes through. So
we don't see ourselves as separate. We're not saying, oh, she is healing. We're saying, no, we are healing this part of ourselves, which is mirrored in her. So we all learn from it, because we are learning at the same time. So we're not saying that she's separate from us. We're saying, wow, she's coming to teach us how to heal this part of me that's talking, that's bringing myself down. Like I can make myself feel so small and so little with this inner voice, which is the same in Julia. So I can learn a lot from her healing. So I'm healing at the same time. So that's the beautiful thing, that everyone is experiencing benefits. But we even had someone who came for a healing, and at one point she wanted to escape, run away. So she ran from the school into the cornfields, and we just ran after her, and we just stopped her from running away, and we just were being with her. And then gradually she went through her things, and she came back, and it was okay. So we're just 100% there. And that's the thing, just being present. So people ask, like, what do you do? What do you do? but we say Master Choi teaches us that it's actually the wrong question. Like, what do you do? It's how do you choose to be? So that's what we're focusing on, being that person. Come back to now we're all beings.
Yeah, human beings.
Wow. Well, that's amazing. That's really amazing, and I feel that that means there must be a lot of you must generate, but not like as a must, but there must be a lot of compassion and connection with other people, and it's also something what you write, Sabine, in your book. I slept with her, I ate with her, I trained with her, I walked with her. You do so many things together, right?
Yeah. Especially if you're one-to-one sticking with the person, you do go through the same things, really. Yeah, and that's also you stick to that person wherever that person go. Like what Vincent shared about when that lady ran into the cornfield, even barefoot, I believe, running after.
Yeah, she was a very good soccer player, so she could run really fast.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's very, very intimate, but that's also a lot of trust is there as well, and like you say, a lot of compassion and
So it's like in our training, we learn to not see like, oh, this is, I only take care of my family, or oh, these are my parents. We learn to expand and to open our heart to say, wow, this is my brother or sister, right? Which is maybe not physically your family, but it is the family of humanity. So Master Choi also helps us to expand our awareness that no, you're not just taking care of your friends and family. We are as a whole, we are all human beings. We're a human family. So that's also what we've learned to open up, to say, wow, the postman is also a human being who can have pain and maybe he needs healing, or so. And everyone who comes in with that open, humble attitude to say, yeah, I feel lost, I need healing. We're saying, wow, thank you for coming and helping us to go deeper and
and we fight for the light in that person and inside ourselves. Like, we just believe that everyone can make it. And Master Choi has proven over his 45 years of experience that he's helped thousands and thousands of people to make it, even though people were lost or were given up by the medical system or by everyone around them. They come in like the lady you spoke about, or like Julia. They come to us and we say like, hey, it's not, you've got that spark of light. There's something much deeper inside you that wants to carry on, and we can get that. And we've proven many, many times, and it amazes us every time because you never know. It's all dependent, and you never know if you make it, but we will never give up. And we've so far made it many lots of times. Yeah.
Wow, that's really beautiful. And the way you explain it as all humanity being one family, that's actually amazing. And it's also something we do in with meditation when we are spreading our loving kindness. We try to see everyone as a part of the whole. Everyone is together and everyone is one. I know, Vincent, that you also have a very personal story to share about your father who also self-healed himself, right?
Yes.
Yes. So could you share that story with us as well?
Yes. Thank you. It started almost 7 years ago now, when I was 25. I was working in Amsterdam, and on that day I was working in sales, so I was on the phone all the time. I was calling people, and suddenly my phone rang, so somebody was calling me. This is quite strange because it never happened. And so I took up the phone, and it was my mother, and she said, she almost couldn't say it. She said, I'm almost too, it's almost too painful to tell you, but your father we went to the hospital, and we heard that your father has cancer, and he only has 3 more months to live. So we don't know if he will make it to Christmas. And in that moment, I I thought nothing was wrong with my life. I was working, earning quite good money. I was partying a lot. I thought I had a good life. Actually, I wasn't actually feeling happy, but I pretended that I was happy. And suddenly it was like my whole world collapsed in a moment. I hang up the phone. I said, okay, I'm coming home now. And I looked at my colleagues and I just didn't understand like what's happening. It's like your whole world, whole reality changes in one like this. And from that moment, it just like was like a wake-up call for me. Like, what am I doing with my life? Like, my father might not be around in 3 months anymore. And I discovered that also my grandfather died on cancer. And it was cancer in his lymphatic system, in his organs, in his bones. And the doctor said it has already been spread through his body so much that they can't do any treatments like they normally do because it's too far. They were even surprised that he was able to walk into the hospital himself. They even got all the other doctors to see the scan that it was tumors all over his body. So it was a miracle that he was just walking there by himself. So it was a very difficult situation for us, and we went then on holiday for a month, and we said this is our last month together. So also with my girlfriend Helen and my mother and my father, we spent a month in Thailand, and we felt like, wow, it was beautiful, but it was also very painful, very emotional, and it's very strange to have such a month. And when we came back, the doctors actually said that they found a hormone therapy which would help my father to extend his life between 1 year or 2 years if he was really lucky. And it happened to be in that time that we found, well, Helen, actually, my partner, found the Rainbow Tai-Chi school in England and found Master Choi. And it turned out that he has dedicated his whole life into Chi healing, into helping people to heal who are medically being given up by the doctors, by the Western system of medicine. And well, that's where it started really. So Helen first went to Master Choi, and later I went to a workshop as well. And it's quite a long story, but Helen Master Choi, and we organized workshops in Holland, where Master Choi came to Holland to give workshops where people could learn about Chi healing, learn to connect to Chi energy, because in nature there is healing happening all the time, everywhere. Like when a tree breaks off a branch in a storm, naturally it will heal. When you cut yourself, naturally your body will heal. And Master Choi was sharing all these seemingly simple things that I personally was totally unaware of. I didn't know that. I believed, I need medicine to heal. I need to go to a doctor to give me medicine. And he shared, no, have you ever seen a tree going to the doctor to heal? I was like, no, I've never seen a tree going to the doctor.
That's amazing.
And and then he taught my father these exercises, connecting to breathing, connecting to gratitude, connecting to also emotionally change the way you talk to yourself, for example, learning to love and accept yourself as you are. And my father we organized about 3 or 4 workshops, and my father went to each workshop, and also I helped my father to learn the exercises, to practice. And Master Choi said, like, you have to practice 4 hours per day to connect to the energy, because you need a lot of healing. And my father was, he had nothing else. So imagine your life would end in 3 more months, and everyone says there's nothing we can do. The doctor had been working for 40 years there, and he said, I've never seen such a bad case in 40 years. So definitely you're not going to make it. And right now, today, my father is actually still alive. He had some tumors like in his spine, really big one, and that tumor just totally is gone. And they can't even find the tumors anymore. They need like a microscope to find the tumors. And they don't understand what happened. They say, how did you do it? Well, they didn't even say, how did you do it for many years? Because they say, this is just very strange. And they said, it's, they didn't want to believe that he changed his diet, and he built up his practice from 10 minutes a day, half an hour per day. And now 4 hours per day, he goes in Holland, he lives in the city, but he goes to the woods, to the forest. And then next to the river, he has a place under the trees where he connects to the energy of the trees, the energy of the river, which is all very much Rainbow Tai Chi. We learn to connect with our heart first. So you feel the energies around you. Then yeah, he does a lot of things like giving thanks to all his cells for doing their best. Like every cell in your body is doing its best to heal and to help. And cancer is like your own body attacking itself. So my father had to learn to change the consciousness in his cells to say, thank you for doing your best. And he had to learn to first, it took him about a year to really accept that he had an illness. And he had to change his whole belief system about being ill. So he could accept that he had a death causing illness. And from that acceptance, the whole healing could start to happen. And that's one of the biggest lessons also that I've learned in Rainbow Tai Chi, to learn to love and accept myself as I am. Because the thing for my father was a whole changing point in my life. Like I used to do a lot of different drugs and do a lot of, drink a lot, and I have quite a destructive destructive lifestyle. But I changed because of that event. I was like, whoa, what am I doing? I'm destroying myself. And and I had to learn to do that also, stop destroying myself emotionally by saying, Vincent, you're not good enough. Vincent, you are a loser. You are stupid. That's how I often felt, like stupid. Like so many people feel just that they're stupid to do something. And that's what this practice can change. To say, no, you are a beautiful being of peace and love and energy, and you are beautiful as you are. So that's, my father is practicing still every day, and his whole diet as well. He eats lots of vegetables, turmeric. So also to use nature, to use herbs, to get your body physically healthy and strong. So it's really just coming back to the way of nature. And I'm forever grateful to Master Choi to help my father and myself to get on this path. And my father is super, super excited about it. The only thing he wants when he wakes up is, eat his healthy food and go to the forest to practice and practice. And, he's also a painting artist, so he loves making paintings. So yeah, I'm so happy that he's still around. And my mother was a support for him as well, to encourage him to go for it and practice. And lots of other people who had cancer, unfortunately, did not make it. And that's what I see. You need a good teacher, a good group support, and good practice. So it's all these factors are needed. So it's not as simple as, you just practice a lot. It's quite deep.
Wow. Thank you so much for this very profound sharing, and greetings to your father if he's watching, or
if he's watching.
or if he will watch later. And also greetings to Master Choi, who has established this foundation and this school, and has inspired and self-healed so many people. So thank you so much. And it's really impressive. And something what also I read in Sabine's book, and also what I keep noticing is when we connect to the nature, we have to go out to the nature. We have to make time for it, time and space, right? And these two aspects are very important. However, very much missed in nowadays rushy life. To give this time and space, and also there's something in the book called verbal fast, and giving a space, connecting to the nature. Could you perhaps explain a little bit more of this aspect of giving space? And is it some kind of isolation that we need perhaps every day? Could you explain a little bit more about it?
If we can practice it? No, it wouldn't be a good idea to practice it now. Verbal fast means that you only speak when necessary. And it's... Yeah. And if you slow down on your everyday life, and also if I slow down on how I've been talking and chatting away today, you realize how much energy we spend with or your mind is chattering, or you're verbally chattering. But there's not such thing as like you've got like you can be silent and sit in meditation and be silent, but there's another thing to be mentally silent as well. So yeah, verbal fast is very important for everyone. And like Vincent shared, and in the book, in Julia's case, she came back from Amsterdam, and the first step is to sort of completely bring someone back into a space of peace, of calm, of silence, really within that person. And verbal fast is something that you become more aware of in your daily life as well. And it's also based around something we really believe in and practice is conserve, spend, conserve. So we are used to spend energy, and at the end of the day we conserve, and we probably do a little bit of meditation. Today you can practice conserve, spend, conserve lifestyle. And verbal fast is a very important aspect of that really.
Yeah, and it's also connecting to, say, like when I meet someone new and I feel a bit uncomfortable with that person, I'm like, he's not saying anything. Oh, I should say something to fill up this empty feeling. So I'm like starting to just talk about the weather. Like everyone in England loves talking about the weather always. Like, oh, what's the weather today? So it's like verbal fast is realizing that you're actually filling up the wuchi, filling up the emptiness, which you need to get energy. So you're actually wasting energy without being aware of it. So I was brilliant at it. I was always talking to people, filling up any little bit of space. The verbal fast is saying this space is important for me to be with myself, to allow new energy, to conserve my energy, because sometimes you do have spontaneous something to share, but it comes from your heart or from your gut center, and it's not coming from a mental chattering voice that keeps on going. So to me, it's a brilliant way to find more peace in my mind and feel if it's really coming from an authentic, genuine, heartfelt place. So you start to have different kinds of conversations. I feel it brought more humor also into my life.
Yeah.
Often more able to see the joke in things.
So what should we do in this case when we meet a person? should we not speak about weather or keep silent? Or
just do what it's like listening to the pauses in between your heartbeat. But Master Choi always says, if you can't hear your heart beating, then stop speaking and connect back.
Yeah.
And you can get better and better in that.
Yeah, it's a lot of practice as well. Like you say, working with that uncomfortable feeling of urge, wanting to fill something up with, whether it's talking or drinking coffee, or for me in the past it was smoking. Like every time I felt uncomfortable, like stick it in my mouth wherever I went. So it's verbal fast is that embracing that sort of wuchi emptiness inside yourself that doesn't need to be filled.
Yeah, thank you. Also, we have some greetings from Saskia van der Horst saying, Wout, I believe it's your father, writes, thanks very much. And we are enjoying you all tremendously. Thank you so much, Saskia, for these beautiful comments. And this is... this is also a reminder to all of our viewers. Take an opportunity and ask questions if you have. We have two Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung experts, instructors, or however you call it here in this our Peace Revolution studio. So feel free to ask any questions that you may have. While we are slowly approaching to our little surprise by the end of the show, don't miss it out. The surprise is coming anytime soon. Meanwhile, I have more.
And also for the viewers, if you're listening, make sure you listen to the pauses in your heartbeat now. If you can listen.
Yeah, let's do it now. Let's
practice. Also for ourselves, but for everyone who's watching.
So you put one hand here on your chest and the other hand here on your tummy. That's it. And then you can just, if you want to, close your eyes. And then focus on listening to the pauses in between your heartbeats. And if you can't hear your heartbeat, that's okay. I'm sure you're not a zombie. You can listen to the pauses in between your breathing. Yeah, I couldn't hear my heartbeat for like months and months, so I had to practice a lot to slow down. Feel my heart beating. It's okay if you can't feel it straight away.
Wow.
That's something you can practice.
With a smile. That's most important.
Thank you so much for sharing this. It's yeah, it is not easy to feel heartbeat at first, I must say. It requires some practice.
Yeah, in the beginning I was using like a stethoscope. I had it next to my bed. Stethoscope to listen to my own heartbeat. You know, so it would be nice if people, instead of using like an iPhone to listen to music, then everyone would walk down the streets with a stethoscope, listening to their own heartbeat.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for this. And another thing that I wanted to, and please, our viewers, let us know how you felt about this little exercise. If you could hear your heartbeat or not, let us know. We are curious to know. We have two experts here who can then elaborate on that. And I would like to go back to actually the learning, the question about learning. And even though I keep saying you are experts, I know that in Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung, you are encouraged to refer to yourself as students, right? And also there is something that you mentioned also, Sabine, in your book, the aspect of not only learning, we need to learn, but also to unlearn in order to heal ourselves. So could you perhaps speak a little bit more about this unlearning aspect and being a student?
Yeah, definitely. It's a great question, learning and unlearning. And it begins with unlearning. That's the main thing. We've learned already so many things in our life, but there are also a lot of things that we need to unlearn. For example, the way you speak to yourself. Like slow down on that. Like, do you look in the mirror and say, "Wow, you look amazing today. You're shining, the light in your eyes, beautiful." For me, that was a very strange thing to say. For example, saying, "I love you, Sabine. I really, really, really love you." That was the most uncomfortable feeling that I've ever had. What my thought pattern was like, you look too fat, you've got pimples, you look tired, you've got like bags underneath your eyes. Oh, I wasn't good at all, and saying I love you was not even in my vocabulary. So unlearning those negative voices and destructive voices, that's the first thing that we learn. And you start to learn a new language by unlearning the old habits. Like, for example, with verbal fast, like the old habit of wanting to chat. You unlearn first that it's okay to be silent. It's okay not to chat. And it's also okay to appreciate yourself, for example. So that's unlearning. And example?
Yeah. Well, that's a beautiful example. And like I had to learn also to always like straight away have an opinion about things or straight away judge something or judge myself. So instead of having a judgment straight away, I had to just learn to let go the judgment and just come back to being a bit softer to myself. So yeah, there's so many things to unlearn. Like I also had to unlearn to put myself down. Like I'm okay to be who I am, and I'm not less than other people. So that's like habits. I don't know, I would call it emotional habits that I was never aware of. I was like sabotaging myself all the time. So when I had to go in a job, ask for a pay raise, for example, which I really deserved because I was doing really well, I was so afraid to ask for it because I wasn't giving that to myself inside me. So I had to unlearn that habit of putting myself down and say, yes, you deserve this and you're worth it. So that really helped me to just to be who I really am, and that's a big purpose of the Rainbow Tai-Chi-Ch-Kung practice, to bring me back to me, and if you would practice it, to bring Agnya back to Agnya. Another thing was to learn to thank yourself. Like instead of criticizing always yourself, you just thank yourself. So instead of when you're at a party, you thank everyone, you just stand up on the table and you say, sorry, I would just like to thank myself, please, for creating this party. And so I would say, oh, Vincent, I would like to thank you for sharing this at the interview, and thank you for your courage, for being who you are and not holding back. See? So that's like thanking yourself for something, for a quality, or
Yeah. Or we could thank Agnia for your beautiful radiant smile and your humbleness and your interest and
your peace and your clarity. It's then also when you repeat those, you have to unlearn. You see, there's another voice which saying no, and we say no, unlearn, and say yes, thank you, let it.
Yes, thank you. There's on the other side, there's something called ego, so let's not go there.
Yeah. That's the one who needs to die. Yeah. Exactly. So what we do by unlearning and learning is we unlearn or let go or die the old ego and give birth to a healthy ego. So that's what we're doing. We're pruning and
we're learning. Yeah, that's great. That's beautiful. We're learning like the ego is like the car, and you are like the driver. So if the car goes off by itself and starts driving into groups of people on the streets, you have a big problem. So we want the car to be humble, to just wait in the car park until the driver comes, and then the driver says where the car is going. Not the other way around, where the ego is deciding where to go, and creating all these problems.
Wow, so ego is the driver.
No, ego is the car.
Okay, that's
it. The real you is the driver.
The real you is the driver.
Yeah. Right. And the ego is the car. So the car has to wait for the driver to come and not go off by itself.
Yes.
Master Choy always says the real spark of life, the real light being, that's the real you, that's the driver. So we need to learn to humble the ego and wait for the driver to come and decide where to go.
I see Suri says hello and she has a doubt.
Yes. Yeah, this is a time to turn to our dear viewers. Thank you so much. We have actually new people coming in. And this is hello to Suri, to Lisbeth. Lisbeth was here before though. But hello again. Brunel from Benin, IMAX from Thailand. Thank you guys for joining us on this show about healing, the healing power of Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung. And yes, Suri, we want to listen to your doubt. Let us know what is your doubt, and we will elaborate on that. We have these two beautiful people to explain us with these very nice comparisons that you are using. Thank you so much. Yes, and I wanted to go back to this topic of the balance, and also something that we can continue about how not to, let's say, how to find balance between humble and ego, or how to find balance generally. Because also when we remember the story of Julia, the reason that caused multiple sclerosis was emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual imbalance, right? So So what can we do in this life? And you know the life we are living at. It's rushy life. It's life which is very demanding with technology and all, and it's very. I think the balance is what people are seeking the most from this life. So, what is your advice for that? What is your suggestion, and what would you recommend?
Yeah. Big question, but a good question. Like you said, like with Julia, the start was this balance, and like with every illness, is a balance of a heart, body, mind, spirit somewhere. So everyone who comes in has got it's all unique. It's got a different. You can't treat everyone as the same. So, for example, the disbalance that Julia had emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, would be completely different from another MS patient or student that would come in. But the advice that we would give to someone is, personally, I'd say slow down. That's the first step, and learning to listen. Listen to the pulses of your heartbeat. Listen to your emotions. Learning to listen to your emotions. Learning to listen to your body, your whole being, and letting. Yeah, what would be the first?
Yeah, and I would also add to that learning to let go.
Yeah.
So learning to let go, like tension in your shoulders, tension in your joints, learning to let go worries, and just learning to empty yourself on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So because that's one of the first things that we learn as well. If you can't let go, there's nothing new to come in. Letting go is learn to practice letting go as a daily thing. You can, even while you're doing the dishes, you can let go. You have are you washing the dishes like this? No, or are you relaxing and washing the dishes?
Right.
So even though you're in the environment, even though you're living in the city, you can still practice letting go all the time. Mm-hmm. So you can have the Rainbow Tai-Chi way of, say, vacuum cleaning. You connect to your center and you move from your center. So the center is your whole body is involved. You're not just using your shoulders, forcing it. And you can be creative. You can actually in an office, you can see if people are relaxed by grabbing their arm and saying, let go the tension. Mm-hmm, see, so you can say, oh, let go, relax your wrists, relax your fingers.
Yeah. So let go is very, yeah.
Thank you for sharing this. And we are getting back to Suri, who had a doubt, and she has elaborated on her question, which is, it has something to do with mindfulness. So what would be connection with the mindfulness? I believe Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung practice and the healing part.
The first thing is that we want mind emptiness, and that's where we start from. Let go the mind into the center. Yeah. Empty your mind. And I don't know what doubt exactly is, Turi, or the exact connection of your question is we come from a heart, body, mind, spirit system, and in that exact order. It's not mind, body, spirit, heart. It's not spirit, heart, body, mind. It's not spirit, heart, spirit, heart, spirit, heart. It's heart, body, mind, spirit. So
so it's indeed like a recipe.
Yeah.
Like Master Choi is the chef cook. He has designed this recipe. He has created this. He is the founder of this heart, body, mind, spirit approach of healing, of health, of creativity. So if you would say mindfulness, the first word is mind. So it implies that you're using the mind to create whatever. And we say it's heartfulness, and the mind needs to learn to be quiet and empty. And then the heart sinks down into the body.
There's also a saying where it says the mind is...
Yeah, it's like the mind is a terrible tyrant, but an excellent servant. So we want the mind to be like a servant of the heart and the body.
Yeah.
The mind to be the servant of the heart and body. That's so beautiful.
Yeah, and the spiritual aspect as well. So it's like, although we're saying like as if it's separate, it is all connected, which is also a paradox that at one side it's like, oh, it's first the heart and body, mind, spirit, but then it's also all one. So when you have a physical pain somewhere, like in my father's case, his cancer, from our point of view, it's not separate from his emotional body, from the way he feels towards himself. So we say you have an emotional body, you have a physical body, you have a mental body, and a spiritual body. And all these four bodies all need to connect.
Yeah. And when it comes to healing or to pain, we don't go there with our mind first, we go with our heart first to feel, to allow pain to express and to emotionally connect to that physical pain. If the mind goes there, the mind the mind can contribute by saying thank you, by saying let go, by learning a language to support the healing, but you need to feel it first, because if the heart doesn't go there first, healing can't take place. So the mind needs to be completely empty. If there's a chi healing, for example, the mind can come in and say like, this is bullshit. What the fuck are they doing? I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything. What, I don't know. What are they doing? The mind feels out of control and doesn't know how to connect to the chi. Where what you then have to do is say, let go, let go, let go. You involve the mind to say like, hey, it's okay, but just let go, let go, let go. You notice that after a while, and you repeat that to those voices in your head, they're silent, they become quiet, and then the chi starts to flow. And then you will start, hey, I feel this beautiful warm glow, this tingling energy. And then your mind says, thank you. So energizing for being so vital. So you learn a different language to the mind, but the heart needs to have the space to come first.
It's like the way of Tai Chi is about the way of the water. So we want the water to flow, and the mind is like it freezes the water, so it stops the energy from flowing. It's like it blocks. And if I, like the doctors said to my father, they're all using their mind to say, oh no, we've never seen this healing, you can never heal from this, it's impossible, we've never had it in the past, and it will never happen in the future. So the mind is like stuck on this, what he knows. And we learn to do the opposite, where we learn that the mind says, I don't know, it learns to accept that I don't know. And the heart can, like Sabine shares beautifully, the feelings come in, and you emotionally allow the thing to come in. And then your heart is the best expert. That's what we learn.
The mind is based on the recognitive experience of the past. So, for example, in chi healing, the mind thinks he knows what chi is and is looking for that, for recreating that experience. We call that electroplating. So it's almost like the mind can put a gold layer on something worthless, but it's still something worthless. So the mind can think, but not the actual thing. And it's only the heart that can feel and be completely empty and experience everything as new. So every time he comes in, you meet a lover, your husband, or your partner for the first time, you see the love in his eyes, it's always fresh, it's always new. And the mind doesn't really know that. The mind doesn't have that. It only knows what was.
Wow. I really love this innocence in this, always new, always fresh, like with a child's eyes. And I guess this is what you have also said. Chi starts to flow, right? That flow is important. That's what we want at the end of the day, right? The flow. Yeah.
Let it flow.
Yeah, let it flow.
The exercises are so important to open yourself, your body, through physical exercises, but also through the alignment of heart, body, mind, spirit, to allow that flow, that river of energy, that sea of chi inside you, to allow that to come in. And that can only go through the heart, body, mind system.
Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. And it also connects with something what you have said, that we become human doers, not human beings. So is the mind the doer that makes us doers?
Well, yeah, you could see it that way, indeed. Like if I look at my mind, always wants to do something. Like, oh, let's do this. Let's do
Do so.
something exciting. Let's seek for something amazing that gives me a good feeling. But indeed, that's like the human doer part. But then we are human beings, and indeed, learning to practice heartbeat listening, for example, is for me personally really a space where I can just learn to be. Sometimes I feel maybe a bit stressed, I feel restless, or and then I just learn to be with that and embrace
Mhm.
it. Just hold that part of me and just be with that feeling. And then I come back to a state of being, slowing down, and it can be quite confronting. Like it's not easy because some people, including myself in the beginning, I didn't want to feel really. I
Mhm.
didn't want to face that I wasn't feeling happy really. I was always feeling empty. And I was like, what's the purpose of my life? I feel it's no use. Why am I even alive? And I was always running away from that feeling, doing. Actually, through this heartbeat listening practice, I learned that it's okay to feel that way. And that was exactly what I needed to just be with that, feel it as it is.
Not do something about it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Run
Just
away
be.
from it, cover it up.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what brought me back to being a happy human being.
Mhm. And there's also something very nice that you have said, which links a little bit to what we do, also meditation practice. In the book, you said, Sabine, your mission is to serve the light being. It's never to serve you. Meditate to listen to the voice of stillness.
Mhm.
So, how do you see meditation as a part of being, as a part of flowing, and yeah.
Mhm. Well, Tai Chi is meditation and movement to start with. So for us, meditation is not something static. So we don't have to sit down to be in a meditative state. For us, meditation is in every action, whether it's like Vincent said, doing the dishes, whether it's singing, whether it's walking, running. We even just
Yeah,
learned the art
running.
of
Yeah,
running, like a meditative art of running. So for us, meditation is we focus on the pauses in
Mm-hmm.
between every movement, like we did just now, the pauses in between the heartbeat, the pauses in between your breath. You can always find the pauses in your movement. Even when someone's talking, even when I'm talking now, or when you're talking, you can focus on the pauses rather than the noise. And within the pauses, that's where the key lies. And you build the currency of stillness. So for us, it's not something separate. It's not, we don't need to exclude ourselves to be in a meditative state, really. Then again, it's also how still are you really? If your mind needs to be still, those inner voices need to be still. But that's, yeah.
yeah. And it's to me, it's not easy always to find stillness, and it's something what I find. It's like the more you practice and the more you learn to pay attention to the spaces, the pauses, the easier it gets, and it gets more interesting is what I found. So you can. Master Choi always talks about dynamic peace, learning to connect to dynamic peace. It's different than static peace. So a runner,
Uh-huh.
you could be running and listening to the pauses in your footsteps. You can
Mm-hmm.
easily get into this dynamic piece, or while you're doing something that might seem stressful from the outside, maybe you have a busy job or you're working as a chef or something, listen to the pauses in between, the sounds of the knife cutting a vegetable, for example.
Like the other day in the school, we were rebuilding a barn, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of machines. We were like 10 people in the same barn, and a lot of machines, and some people couldn't hear very well, and could only be completely caught up in there's noise. Hammers, there's drills, there's 5 different drills at the same time. It's like, I'm going crazy. I can't, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And then Master Joy said, but have you listened to the pauses? In between the drill, even though there are 10 drills, there's still pauses you can focus. And we went in that afternoon, and again, drills. And instead of coming out tired, you come out energized. So every physical activity becomes a silent, mindful, meditative experience, really, where you connect to the chi and the stillness. So it's also a choice of where you listen to.
Yeah, that's what I also was thinking. It's a choice. You have to be, you have to make your choice in each situation to connect
Yeah,
to, yeah, it's
How do you,
about.
yeah,
how you
and
choose to be? Are you choosing
Mm-hmm.
to be very angry about what's happening to you? Are you choosing to be angry about your illness or about the sounds that you're hearing or not hearing? You choose to be, instead you choose to be unconditionally accepting,
mhm, to be
peaceful,
grateful.
grateful.
Yeah,
It's all a choice.
that's
Wow.
also reminds me of one thing that, like my father now, he says that he actually is grateful for what happened to him because it has
Mm-hmm.
enriched his life in so many ways. So he used to love to play tennis, and then he was on his bicycle to the tennis court, and he didn't even see anything. He was just focusing on, oh, I get to the tennis court and play tennis. But now he says when he does the same route on his bicycle, suddenly he sees the trees, he hears the sound of the birds, he enjoys the tiniest butterflies, the bees. Everything is like an amazing experience of happiness for him, which before his illness he wasn't aware of all those things. So slowing down
Mm-hmm.
is actually enriching your life in such a beautiful, beautiful way. And that's also,
Wow.
yeah, that's something so amazing. So listening to the pauses and everything, it actually brings so much richness and goodies into your life.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing, and that's what really brings that freshness all the
Mhm.
time. And yes, and another thing that you have said previously, you have mentioned creativity, and something what happens after self healing is this creative aspect. When you start flowing, when you're flowing, you have a you want to bring out something and share. So, what is the role of creativity in self healing?
Yeah, really good question.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's actually the creative energy is the healing energy.
yeah.
Like you have in Tai Chi, there's yin and yang. So there's the feminine and masculine energy, or the positive and negative energy. We learn to bring them together to go into the Tao. So yin yang flowing into the Tao. So the creative energy is, without creative energy, there's like to create, to heal. So there's no healing without bringing together those two energies. And but it's not the end. Like when healing, it's not like when you're healed that suddenly the energy is not there anymore. The energy is
Mm-hmm.
still there. No, it's always, it has been there before we were here. So then suddenly you have, maybe you don't feel ill anymore, and suddenly you have more energy. Like wow, amazing! Suddenly I feel like singing a song, or I feel like writing a poem, or I just can't stop. What's happening? You know?
It's like in nature. It's like Vincent said, the negative and the positive, they come together, the yin and the yang, to go to the Tao, to go to that creative expression. And yeah, that's what nature also does. Like its fruits are its creative expression, the flowers are the creative expression. So naturally, we are moving in that creativity. So for us, it's very important to free that up, really, to free that creative energy up, because often inside ourselves is blocked. And again, it's blocked by your own suppression, by voices from the past, by rejection, by unworthiness, by fearfulness. So allowing that creative, most powerful energy to flow, you need to let it flow. That's the first step. For example, before I came to the school, I was very introverted, and especially musically. I used to play a lot of instruments, and mainly the piano, but I always played it for myself, and no way that I would ever play for someone else. Until Master Joyce said, like, "Hey, there you go, share it." And I remember the first time I was like in an avalanche of negatives. I can't do this. I'm not good enough, and I'm just unworthy, and I just can't do this. But now, like, it becomes a very effortless thing to unblock that river of creative energy. So like what Vincent says, like, because when I came to the school, I was very low in my energy, more depressive, negative state. So when the negative is more than the positive, the creativity will block, will freeze, will have like obstacles. As soon as you bring that more in balance, naturally you wanna bring it out in a creative way.
Wow, amazing, Sabine. Thank you for sharing. And this brings us closer to our surprise, actually, which you
Yeah,
already mentioned
Yeah.
that you are playing piano, right? And we are
yeah.
going to twist it right here that we want to really know that you are not introvert. So if this could really work. So
Now it goes to the yeah. And another thing that we learn is we play from, we call the wuchi. It's like from nothing. So the first thing is what a teacher does is he takes away all the pieces you've ever learned, and no notes in front of us. So Vincent and we're gonna
Yeah.
bring something fruity and something
yeah.
to enjoy for the first time.
Yeah. So just for the viewers at home, we haven't practiced anything. We haven't prepared anything. We're just gonna embrace the unknown and see what comes out, which is a big part of learning Rainbow Tai Chi, to embrace the unknown, because that's how nature does it as well. So are
Yeah,
you
that's
ready?
the best.
Let's go to the stage.
Okay, dear viewers, stay tuned because now the surprise is coming, and we are changing slightly our view to a quite big piano actually, and very nice setting with a England weather outside. So wow, the floor is yours. We are
Yeah. Thank
excited.
you.
This is for everyone who's watching, and this is also for Agnia. And thank you so much for your amazing vibes and allowing us to be here. And
Yes.
for everyone who enjoyed it, we enjoyed you. All the hearts, all the hugs, all the lights.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So this is an ode to everyone.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Thank you, guys.
Right, right, stay, smile, 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 smile. Love, light, you are love. Your radiant beauty is mesmerizing. Deserve for a blessing in disguise.
Amazing.
Flow, 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 with the river you are.
Flow like a river, fly like a bee. Be grateful for the tree,
birds and the bees,
you and for me. Softly shining, climbing with perfect timing.
You smile, you smile, you smile, my love. Your heart smiles in the beat, my love, 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 love. Thank you, I thank you for all you give. You are my love.
Smiling peace,
Smiling peace revolution.
peace revolution, for the revolution,
Revolution.
revolving inside, turning and flowing, growing, as we let go, like a flower shows us the beauty of you and me too.
You were amazing. You were amazing. You were amazing.
You're amazing, Agnia.
Agnia, Agnia. You're amazing. Agnia, you're amazing.
And the people at home as well. You are lovely. You are great. You're unique. You are a star. You are shining. Go for it. Don't hold back. Let it out and shine.
You shine, 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 shine. Okay, wait, you shine. Sing along, Agnia. You shine, 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 my love. You shine, shine bright. Like a star in the brightest sky. Shine, 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 shine. Dance, dance.
Dance and shine.
Thank you, revolution, for bringing smiling piece of joy into our lives, into our world. Thank you for all the beautiful viewers. We love the light in you.
Love the light in you, viewers. All the people in the world, you are wonderful stars.
Star.
Light beings who are bringing peace, love, and joy in every moment. Right now, with a wow. Yeah.
Amazing, 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 guys. Thank you so much. Wow, wow, that was incredible.
Yeah,
Coming out of
really.
your emptiness, right? From Wuxi, as you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not prepared anything, just spontaneous.
Just spontaneous, but with your full heart and your full attention there, and we could feel it. Thank you so much, and our viewers have loved it. Thank you, Steer over Best, who says love this, and thank you all the others who listened to it and who loved it. And
Wow, thank you. Steve.
Yeah. Thank you, Steer.
Yeah,
thank you so much for sharing this creativity.
I'll go back to Oh, I'll get back here. Hey, we are even flowing with the camera.
Hey.
Back to the backstage. and and well, wow, I'm really impressed, and I really believe that this is something really beautiful, the way you live your life, and I really hope that our viewers are inspired to learn from you and to unlearn for themselves,
Yeah,
as learn
Yeah.
and unlearn. And yeah, I guess that's it for now, unless there is some questions from our viewers or some comment that you still want to share in these last minutes that we have. Also,
yeah. If
something
I
that
can,
you would like to
oh
say
yeah,
now.
yeah. Well, I just if someone is interested to learn more about Rainbow Tai-Chi-Kung, they can visit the website of the Rainbow Tai Chi School, which is
Mm-hmm.
rainbowtaichi.org.uk.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
org.uk, and there you can see the classes, the courses, the even there are things about experiences from students, the background of our teacher, amazing pictures. And we have the summer school coming up next week, which is coming lots of people to learn and to grow, and it's going to be amazing. So if you want to find out more, you can go online and check it out. It's really, there are people from all over the world coming. So yeah, it's lovely to. Oh wow, I see a great comment there from Nick.
Joyful light in song.
Thank
And
you,
we love
Nick.
the joyful light in you, Nick.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, everyone. And yes, the last minutes for questions, for comments, for anything that you would like to share with our two guests and with everyone else. And yes, apply for the summer school. Can people still
Yes.
participate?
Yeah, last, I don't know, maybe, yeah, maybe last minute. Yeah,
Welcome.
Possible.
yeah. Officially, the date has passed, but you can always, if you're really excited, just contact the school, and I'm sure we can arrange something.
Yeah.
But there will also be other trainings that you can join, like workshops, and there's going to be amazing things happening in Spain. Oh, Ryan!
Hey,
Ryan!
Ryan!
Yeah,
Love!
yeah.
So it's all full of opportunities, as we see. You just need to
Yeah.
to find out more about it, and perhaps you can also later share the link. And
Yeah, or if you want to have the book by Julia's Healing Journey, this one, it's also available through, you can contact us, comment on Facebook, or you can go through the website of the Rainbow Tai Chi School to get the book about 8 days healing journey. Oh, Agnia has got it.
Agnia's got it.
this allows me to say thank you to Sabine, who also sent me the book, so I can also fully recommend it to our viewers. I have also read it now, and it's full of nice pictures as well, and lot of wisdom and profoundness and healing and practical examples of healing. And thank you so much, Sabine, for sending me it over all the way from UK to Latvia. It's a long journey.
Traveled to good places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of appreciation and thank you for the nice, beautiful writing for me and for the postman even. So thank you for thinking about everyone.
Postman, don't shoot the messengers. They do great work. Yeah.
And something what Vincent said, by the way, let's not forget that also postman is a part of us. Everyone, like we all live together, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's Master Choi has taught always write on the letter. Thank you, post people, because they are the most amazing people. They are sending messages to everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much, Saskia.
Saskia.
She's writing in Dutch.
And Teresa.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. It was great. Thank you, Agnia, for your beautiful questions. I really want to appreciate you for your dedication, for reading the book, and putting so much beautiful time and effort and energy into making the interview deep and good and full of joy as well. So yeah, you're really a good interviewer.
You're brilliant. Yeah. day and
Thank you so
night.
much.
Share your light with us through email, and it's always such a pleasure to connect to you. And you do beautiful, beautiful work. You are a
Thank
beautiful,
you.
beautiful person. Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Vincent. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sabine. And also thank you to Helen, who is
Yeah.
watching us behind and who was joining our last interview.
Don't know where she is, but
We have
yeah.
Yeah, she,
2 interviews, and who knows, maybe more are coming. We never know.
yeah,
And
she,
Just this book just came out from another healing story that has been with us last month, Anita, and
okay,
she has had 2 strokes,
yeah, 2 strokes.
a whole load of medicine, and she learned herself to do everything again, walk again, talk again, and overcome fears. And she ran with us as well,
Yeah, yeah.
played football with us.
It's a very inspiring healing story
Very
about
inspiring.
how she's getting back all her abilities again,
Yeah.
and which you lost hope. And she had so many medicines. She really felt that she would never be able to run anymore, for example. And now she has back all these things, and she's enjoying life again.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, it could be a beautiful next interview with
Yeah.
one of our fellow
Linda.
colleagues. Her name is Linda. She is actually doing exams today.
Today, yeah.
For so she might be a graduate next week. Rainbow Tai-Chi-Kung graduate. So maybe it could be amazing next interview.
She's also a comedian, and she's also quite funny.
Yeah,
Very funny.
she makes lots of jokes.
Hilarious.
okay, okay. We'll see. We will see. Maybe we can
Yeah.
invite her. So thank you
Yeah.
so much for the suggestion. If anyone
Yeah.
else wants to suggest our people for live interviews, you are most welcome to do that. We are really happy to bring inspiration, peace, joyfulness to our Peace Revolution page. And inspire all of you for living a happier and healthier life. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, our viewers, for being super active.
Yeah.
And thank you, Helen, for the final comment.
Yeah.
Hey. It
And
means thank you.
this is and yes, let's keep on sharing joy and peace, and follow us on Peace Revolution page if you want to know more updates, and yeah, share this interview with others, with people whom you know, as it may inspire your friends, your family. And let's hope that we all can learn to self-heal ourselves, and yes, follow also Rainbow Tai-Chi-Chi-Kung updates. So thank you all so much, and have a good evening or morning wherever you are in the world. And yes, goodbye.
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 Also the viewers, bye. Thank you for watching.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Ciao.
Now, who presses stop camera first?